So continuing on from part one, as I was saying, that you want to be able to approach the roof and then lay this down, and then at this point you could, if you have this part of the jaw moves, you could move that up and then drop the arm, because when you back up you don't want to knock the plate off, right? Or you could, another way to do it is have the bottom jaw drop, and I'll show you a model that Xavier Little made that with a draw that drops. So and actually we'll let you use, there's a couple of ideas that he came up with, and you can use those if you want. Of course, it's just it has to do with the jaw part. It doesn't have to do with where to select these links. So we're going to talk about that, how to create this. Again, you're going to create your own concept. It doesn't have to look like this. But you'll notice that this one does have a two-stage reduction here. And if you had one motor on this side, then you need to have an axle going across to drive the pinion on the low torque side on both sides. Or you can see there's a lot of room in here, even when this is down at the, let me just, when this is down in this position, and so you can see that there's still quite a bit of clearance in there. If you wanted to put a brace, you know, stiffen these two arms up structurally, then you could just drive the motor on one side. That'll be up to you, or use a different way. But one of the things that will be required in this project is that you only use 4 actuators. So in other words, you can use 2 actuators to drive each side of the base, or 1 actuator for each side. And then you can use an actuator to drive the 4-bar and an actuator to drive the grabbing mechanism. So you have to carefully design the 4-bar, because you're not going to have another actuator that's going to allow you to, say, to tilt the jaw separately. You also notice that there are these tabs just to give you a little extra room in here, right? So in other words, there's clearance, there's enough on the edge here to catch the plate so it doesn't fall off, but where your jaw is actually interacting there, if you want to have a bigger jaw, there'll be room in there. So now the other side is a little bit trickier. Okay, so this is on the other side. You can see that the angle starts out at 0 degrees. In this position, the 4-bar has to be at 45, and then by the time you get up to here, it needs to be at 25 degrees. So it actually, to raise that top, you have to go forward a bit. So this is a little tricky. You have to, this is the hole right here, right? So you have to have this up high enough, but at the same time you can't hit down here. And then as you lower this section, if you use this type of linkage, or I should say these positions, there's lots of different ways that positions that this can work. So then as you drop it, start to drop it, then you might actually have to move the robot forward a little bit. Okay, so let me just, okay, so you can see it moved the robot forward a bit, and then you can drop it. And at this point, again, if you have this jaw, so it either drops, or if you had this on some kind of slide, so this part is actually fixed and this drops, then you'll be able to back up. The same thing as you approach it to pick it up, you're going to have to be able to lift it off. So to lift this one off, you're going to have to, see, as you rise this, as you pick this up, you're going to have to back up a little bit. Right, so if you back up a little bit, and then you can move, as you back up, you can move this up, and now you have enough room to clear that point to pull that off. It's a little bit easier, as I said, on the other side. So on the other side with the 45-degree angle, you can see, I mean, you can come up, grab it, lock the jaw, and then just pick it right up. It's pretty easy on that side. So I'll pick up here from the next video.